Okay, so Monster Mania 62, March 14th to 16th, is a show I'm expecting to go to. Tobin Bell, we got him at $100. Shawnee Smith, she's estimated to be $60 an auto. Um, Get Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. They are 100, 8 by 10, 120. All others usually. Um, we've got some repeat guests that we've seen at other Monster Manias, but they've been in different areas, so maybe some people couldn't get to them. So we've got Eli Roth coming back. He was 80 in auto last year. Chris Jericho obviously is going to be hot for Terrifier 2 and 3. He is expected to be around 100, 120. And then we've got the Return of the Living Dead cast member reunion. So we got Lene, we got Beverly, we've got Tom Matthews, we've got Miguel, obviously from Friday 13th Part 5. Damn enchiladas. Got to get him on my Part 5. The number one, Tommy Jarvis, Tom Matthews. Got Jules Shepard. I mean, it's a pretty decent con, depending on how you look at it. We've got Tarman, Alan Troutman. I mean, I would like to see a lot of newer faces, like some of the other conventions have, like the guy from Late Night with the Devil and all that. I would like to see more new people, but got more Terrifier, Lauren and Elliot, Danielle Harris. She seems to be a staple for the Monster Manias lately. And Roger Jackson, who's been in all the Scream movies, the only person to have been in all, looks like 7 Scream movies, as the voice of Ghostface. A big one I'm really excited about, Dana Kimmel. I thanked her agent Stacy and I talked to her for a little bit. She said she worked on this one for a while. So Dana Kimmel, Part 3, Final Girl, Chris. That's going to be amazing. And then we've got also, Spencer, who did a song for Terrifier 3. And got some of the Killer Clowns, which are doing an in-costume photo op, which would be pretty cool. Pretty cool Christmas card, right? Or Halloween card. Very cool. So Monster Mania 62 is looking pretty good. Obviously, a lot of people are upset that Freddie Highmore canceled. He was one of the big ones early on. I even have stuff people sent to me I have to send back already, unfortunately, that not going to get signed by him. And then we've got a little look at the photo ops just to get some pricing. I went to Saturday since that's like the busiest day, and you could see by the photo op prices kind of around what they're going to charge for an auto. Dana Kimmel's expected to be around 40 for an auto. Danielle Harris went up to $80. The surprising thing is Elliot and Lauren Rivera are different prices. So I'm thinking maybe Lauren went up in price. Elliot was $40 last November. And they both were $40. But now that her photo op price went up, I'm thinking she might have gone up. Because you used to get like Elliot for 40 an auto with a free selfie. And same with Lauren, I believe. But now she's more money. So that's interesting. The Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith dual photo op is probably going to be a pretty hot one. Also, the Shawnee Smith in the robe, pretty cool photo op. I heard that Tobin Bell won't be doing table selfies. So the only way to get a photo with him is to get the photo op. And I believe he also has a solo photo op as well, which is a little bit cheaper. There he is, yep. And he's only there Friday and Saturday. Thelma and Louise dual photo op's pretty cool one. Obviously, if they do it without the plexiglass disaster that was at 90s Con last year. But yeah, it looks like it's a pretty decent show. Like I said, a lot of the same people we've seen at the last Monster Mania. Unfortunately, if you do travel like I do, some repeat guests. But hey, if you didn't get them on certain items last time, it's a good chance to get them again. Here's a quick look at Monster Mania 63 in May. Not a lot of guests have been added to this one yet so far, mostly just the Terrifier people. This one's at the super expensive Baltimore Harbor Hilton, which is the most expensive hotel I've ever seen. Probably won't go to this one. It's just ridiculous. So we've got, the Terrifier people, and we've got Adrienne Barbeau, who's a legend. And then we've got, from Phantasm, we've got Reggie Bannister and his wife, Gigi. But so far, they haven't announced a ton of guests for this show yet. And then Tom Atkins and Stacey Nelkin of Halloween 3 fame. Good time to get Tom Atkins. Who knows how many more conventions he's going to do. You never know. If you don't have him on some items, it's time to get him. And that's a quick look at Monster Mania 63. Creature Feature is another convention that I hear is really great. I hear the people that run it are great, and everyone says it's a lot of fun. It's growing. The guest list still is probably not complete yet. It is growing. It's also the same weekend as 90s Con, unfortunately. So I will not be going to this one. I'm probably not even going to 90s Con, actually. But some good guests here. We've got the zombie in costume photo op. That's pretty wild. We've got the guy that played the Djinn from Wishmaster. We've got Tim Capello from Lost Boys, who's also performing on Saturday night. Very cool. We've got some Nightbreed cast. I mean, it's conventions like this that I like, where you see some of the more, I would say, rare or not as mainstream guests, like the Scream and the Terrifier guests at every show, which I understand. Like, they're popular and they're hot. They're the hot ones right now. But I like, it's cool to see these Silent Night, Deadly Night, Jack Frost, this guy from Beetlejuice, you got Finn from Tremors. I mean, these are people that you won't see all the time at every convention. And then also some Dawn of the Dead. So it's shaping up to be a pretty good convention. Also, not on their website, they also have some Evil Dead 2 cast members. So here we went to their Facebook page, and they have a little bit more updated, a little more current announcements. And there they are. 3 people from Evil Dead 2, which is great if you need them on your poster. It says it's Richard's first convention in over 10 years, I believe. So, good chance to get them. Stephen Jeffries from Fright Night, also in costume photo op. That's interesting. Get the Evil Ed. So, it looks like a very decent show. And Tommy Chong, who was at Chiller last year. Really nice guy. I would highly recommend meeting him. And then we got some more Dawn of the Dead. And repeat announcements here. But looks like it's a pretty fun show if you're in the Pennsylvania area. And like I said, the same weekend as Creature Feature is 90s Con in Hartford, Connecticut. Big reunions as far as Scream, Beverly Hills 90210, Saved by the Bell. And the nice thing about their page is, well, they don't have Nevs up yet, but you can click on the other pictures and see what they're going to be charging, which is always super helpful when going to a show to know what people are charging. Very cool. This is the company That's For Entertainment. They also do a Christmas Con, and they do 90s Con usually a couple times a year. So we've got a lot of the Screamcast. We've got the Lawrence Brothers. We've got some Saved by the Bell. You could get Elizabeth Berkley here on your Showgirls poster, and then in April get Gina Gershon. Can get her on your showgirls. I always go back and look at stuff that they've done on their IMDb pages to see if there's some stuff they're in that you don't know about that you might need them on. Tori Spelling, I would love to get her on a Scream mask. Rose McGowan, need to get her as well, even though I've met her. Jennifer Rhodes, a lot of people don't know. She played a psych ward nurse in the first Halloween. So if you're one of those trying to get your Halloween pieces complete, Jennifer Rhodes is a good one to get. $50, but hey, it's going to be one of those rare autos that a lot of people don't have on their Halloween posters. For the completists out there. So obviously Charmed reunion, got more Halloween Town, Punky Brewster, that's pretty wild. Robin Tunney from The Craft. Punky Brewster's getting 50, Robin's getting 50, and her Funkos do pretty well. Like they easily go for over $100 for her craft Funkos. You got one of the Backstreet Boys. Look at that. Lacey was there last year. She's super nice. She's really pretty, obviously. But yeah, got some Party of Five, some Good Burger. Got Urkel, and got a gold medal gymnast there. So they might still add more guests, but looks like a pretty decent show if you're into pop culture, 90s. Got the New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival, March 1st and 2nd, and the day before that is the Long Island Horror Convention. So I'm going to go from Long Island to New Jersey and then spend Saturday and Sunday here. This is I think this is a great show. You got the Blair Witch cast, Halloween Town. It's always good when you can get more than one person from a franchise, especially if you haven't gotten them already. Obviously, not a new movie, Blair Witch, but I don't have them on my poster. I finally got the full-size poster. If you're into reality TV, you got Jersey Shore. Beverly Mitchell, met her last year at 90s Con. She was great. But it didn't have a Saw 2 poster at the time, so we're going to get her. And also Frankie G. Roger Bart was in Hostel Part 2. And a bunch of other things. He's got a pretty impressive IMDb. Back to the Future, the musical. So again, Kimberly J. Brown is also at 90s Con from Halloween Town. And you've got a little Halloween Town reunion here. Robin Thomas, Daniel. We got Robert Kurtzman, part of KMB, with Greg Nicotero and Mr. Berger there. This guy's, his IMDb is super impressive too. He's done so much makeup and effects work. I mean, there's literally, you'd definitely have something to get him to sign. He's been in so many movies. I mean, worked on so many movies. From Scream to Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, I think even Black Phone, and I mean, it's pretty impressive. Then you got Brad Lorry for the Halloween fans. Got a little martial art, Cynthia Rothrock. So I mean, the show's got something for everyone. With Halloween Town for like the younger people, and then you've got for the classics, for the old school, you got Frankenhooker and Basket Case and Brain Damage. And you've got Kevin, the main star of the Basket Case franchise, and also Brain Damage. Pretty rare one there. Don't see him all the time. Of course, Mindy Sterling from Austin Powers fame. Also in House. Brandy Roderick's awesome, super pretty, super nice. Really sweet person. Highly recommend taking a photo with her. Richard's another great guest you don't see all the time. He was a cop in Friday 13th, 2009. He has a lot of good quotes. He was in Eli Roth's Green Inferno, also Eli's Hostel Part 2, and if you're a soap opera fan, from General Hospital. Camille Keaton, I Spit on Your Grave, classic movie. So she's a good one to get. Luke Edwards, Jeepers Creepers 2, also need to get him on a Little Big League piece for someone. We've got Xander, and we've got a bunch of directors and writers and people trying to, get their name out there that maybe aren't household names yet. But he did some work with Felissa Rose, and we got Liana Paralia, who's a big one. Unfortunately, Sunday only, so she's probably going to be pretty busy, but a lot of people need her on their stream pieces. She was player 3. It's her first time doing conventions, finally, this year. I believe she's been a hard one to get. And she's doing the in-costume photo op, which is really cool. And then, like I said, Frankie G from Saw and The Italian Job. We've got some voiceover actors. It's a really decent show. Wesley's a big one for Terrifier 2 people. A lot of people need him on their Terrifier 2 posters to finish them. The serial kid, as we call him, and he was also in Stream. So, should have a decent amount of stuff for him. Charles Powell's a legend. I'm going to get him on my Exorcist 3 poster. He was so great in that movie. That's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. The only movie that made me actually jump in the theater out of my seat. And he was great in Stream also. We've got Lauren, who's another cosplayer that's up and coming, who's trying to get into film and get her name out there. She has a ton of followers. Same with Barbie, another cosplayer. Fallon. All these people are trying to get into movies now and get their name out there. Got some film directors. I actually helped fund the Slasher Nurse. Got some perks there on Indiegogo. Chiller Theater, one of the best shows to go to, where you're going to see tons of people from all different franchises, from all eras. It's one of the most fun shows. I mean, especially if you're into pop culture, and if you're a little bit older, you're going to see people that you haven't seen in years. I mean, they get the rare guests that you don't see every day. If you miss Deborah from your Warriors piece or your Devil's Rejects, it's a good time to get her. Also, to add to all the Warriors pieces, they're having the Lizzies, which last year they had tons of other Warriors, but now they're bringing the Lizzies in, so you can get about 4 or 5 of them on your cast pieces. I mean, Big Trouble in Little China. Eric Roberts has been in more movies than any other person in the world. His IMDb is ridiculous. He holds the record for most movies. I mean, when's the last time you saw someone from Animal House? I mean, Chiller is one of the rare opportunities to get tons of different people from different genres. Michael Biehn and his wife, super nice people. Lucky enough to meet them last year. And Chiller's going to add tons of more people to the list. This is nothing yet. This is just the beginning. I mean, you get the What's Happening cast, which a lot of you are probably too young to know about. But that was a huge show on regular TV back in the day. And look at this, you've got the original actor that played Barney. I mean, talk about internationally known. Kids would go crazy to meet the actual Barney, right? Even though you're breaking the illusion of it's not actually, a purple dinosaur. It's David Joyner. And then back to horror. Another great reunion here. A chance to add some legends from Day of the Dead. Terry Alexander, met him recently. He's a nice guy. He was also in Stream. But yeah, I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people you could add to your Day of the Dead piece right there. Got some soap opera people. You got people from Oz. You got the writer, producer, and director of Reanimator. I mean, just tons and tons of guests. Jonathan was supposed to be there last time and he canceled, so unfortunately I had to send some stuff back. I did have stuff for him for that thing you do. The Long Island Convention of Horror. Why don't they call it Long Island HorrorCon? I have no idea. But it's a small show. I'm just going to go in and out there just to get Terry Alexander on some stream pieces for someone. Get to see my buddies Michael and Marcus again from Terrifier. And also need Damien on stream pieces as well. He was also in Haunt and a bunch of things. I'd say he's probably the biggest get of this show. I've not seen Black Eyed Susan yet. I have not seen any posters for it. But you're going to have some alumni from that movie here. Like I said, Terry Alexander again from Day of the Dead, from Stream. And we just have, a bunch of writers, directors, producers, artists. It's a pretty jam-packed show for a small con. You get to meet a lot of people that you may not know of their work. Awesome Con is another one. It has some pretty big guests. If you're in the Texas area. The thing that I like about this page, this convention, is you can click on someone's page and it shows you their photo op pricing, times, and you can even check their IMDb profile right from the page, which is pretty cool. Like Carrie Green was in Goonies, and you can check out what else she's been in. Summer Rental. It's pretty cool. I like when pages have tons of information. Super helpful. Very decent show lineup. That's in April, so I'm sure they're going to add more people to this list as well. And they even have it organized by franchise, which is really cool for photo ops and for planning out your weekend. Really nicely organized. Another big one, Scarefest Weekend. One I would love to go to. They always have great guests. This is not until October. I'm kind of bouncing around all over here, but so far these are who they have announced. I mean, it's not till October, so they're going to add tons more people, but already it's very solid lineup. Bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. If you need on your pieces, this is a great one to get them. decent lineup so far. Spookala, back to April now. They've actually got pricing right at the top of their website, which is pretty sick. In a list form. I love that. These are the kind of shows you want to go to. The shows that give you all the information up front. It makes it so much smoother. Here's a look at some of the guests that they've announced so far. Get the OG Art the Clown, Mike Gianelli from All Hallows Eve. Got James from Sinister and Sinister 2. Georgia was on Scream, the TV series. But a nice mixture of guests that you, like I said, you don't see the same people all the time. Spookala is one of the greatest shows from what I've seen. Year after year, their lineups are fantastic. You got Deborah Ann Wall from True Blood. You got David from Late Night with the Devil. I mean, really cool assortment of guests. If you're in the Florida area, I mean, Spookala and Spooky Empire are the two musts. And Spooky Empire is in June and also October. Here's a look at some of the June guests so far. A little Sleepaway Camp reunion. Got some Creep Show, Dawn of the Dead. Very cool. Over to Texas Frightmare. This one's in May, end of May. Here's a look at some of their guests so far. Over to Kings of Horror, end of March, another Texas show. This one they have kind of an autoplay guest list. Another pretty solid looking show with a representation from all different franchises. If you're in the San Antonio, Texas area, this looks like a good one. Get Bagul from Sinister, some Lost Boys, some Friday 13th, 4 and 5 represented. Looks like a good one. And they even show you all the in-costume photo ops at a glance, which I love that. Super, super cool thing to do. You can plan out your weekend. Over to Tennessee now for end of May, beginning of June. Another horror convention, Smoky Mountain Terror. This also looks like a solid convention. And here they've got it grouped off by reunion. Makes it super easy to figure out stuff that you want to get signed. Get some really nice cast pieces at this one. Being it's only February, they still got a couple more months on this one. They'll probably add some more guests. Pretty solid lineup so far. Got some American Pie cast. So many different franchises represented here. You got Grimm, True Blood, Scream, Saw, Reacher. You got Brett Wagner, who's an awesome guy to meet. Get him on some Funko Pops. Get some more Blair Witch. You got Monica Keena from Freddy vs. Jason. Got a little bit of mix of everything. Looks like a solid show. TerraCon does not have anything on their site yet, so let's check out Horror Realm. This is end of February, beginning of March. This is coming up soon. This is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Leah hasn't done too many shows. She's from the Clown Cafe and Terrifier 2. She's a good one to get. Really nice person. You got some killer clowns. Got some wrestling. Got some more Return of the Living Dead, Evil Dead 2, Thanksgiving, more Friday the 13th, more Dawn of the Dead. We've got Jason Baker, who made the mask for Black Phone, Zombies legend John Russo. And like, if you're in the area, if you go on a Creature Feature, then check that one out also. This one's before a Creature Feature, actually. So you got two cons there in Pennsylvania looking pretty good. All right, over to Atlanta for Days of the Dead. End of February. This is coming up very soon. The Days of the Dead shows are always pretty solid as far as big guests. Got a bunch of the Terrifier people again. Got Edward Furlong. Got some Skid Row. Then you've got the girl from The Grudge. That's a pretty big one. I don't think she does a lot of cons in the States that often. Got more Friday the 13th, more Terrifier. Daniel Roebuck's great. Highly recommend meeting him and his wife. Again, you got more Terrifier, which, I mean, a lot of people are sick of them by now, but they're the hot franchise, you know. They're the big new horror franchise for this generation. Like it or not, they're the hot ones right now. Then got more Return of the Living Dead. It's their 40th year anniversary, so they're going to be at a lot of shows. You've got Superman, there's the Serial Kid again. So for Terrifier fans, this is going to be a big one. I mean, you can get Clint Howard who's in Terrifier 3. You can get a bunch of people. More Friday the 13th. You can get Derek and Amanda. James DeBello's a really cool guy. I met him last year. Really funny dude. John Abrams, another one. Scary movie. Terrifier 3. Got some more Scream, some Hellraiser. I mean, Sean Chapman and Albert Smith are some pretty big gets for the States here. Then you've got this guy from Zombie again. And of course, you got Child's Play. And then Screamboat, which is the new David Howard Thornton movie coming out. Got Selfie Guy. Terrifier 2 also makes great masks, 13X Studios. And then Danielle and Scout seem to have canceled already. And then also Ashley Lawrence, who's a must meet. She's fantastic. Okay, over to Mad Monster, another one coming up very soon. This is in North Carolina. Just a quick look at the guests going to that show. Literally, you can go to a convention every week from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. There's a convention at least every week throughout the country. It's insane. Over to Hound Weekend, another fantastic show. This is end of March. This is in Ohio, in Cincinnati. Here's a look at the guests for this show. From the new horror slasher Hard Eyes, you can get some people from that one. Also from Evil Dead 2013. Get 3 of them right there. More musicians. Christina Lindbergh, I can't believe she's back in the States. She did Chiller last year and she hadn't done a convention in over 10, 20 years. Classic movie. Some more Terrifier people. And they're still going to add more people to the show, but this is a must go to if you're in the Ohio area. I just looked up HorrorCons 2025 and I found this site that literally lists all the shows and you can just link to their pages. Hudson Valley Horror Fest I went to last year. They don't have anyone announced as of yet. But that was a fun little small convention. Let's see what else we got. Some of the big ones that stand out. HorrorCon UK. Still going to add more guests. They haven't added a ton yet. But if you're in the UK, check that one out. Back over to Chicago, Days of the Dead, end of March. Love Ginger Snaps. V. Neal is doing her own show now, where she's having a lot of vampires. Bunch of different people. She's gonna be hosting a bunch of like different events, costume contests, stuff like that. That's out in California. Pensacon, another one that's going on actually right now. It's actually just about, well, it'll be finished tomorrow, I guess. Pretty big guest list, a lot of cancellations, but still a pretty big guest list, and that's going on right now. Another Florida Con. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. There's so many conventions, we can't list them all. But we will have some convention footage coming up soon. Lots of autographs we're going to get this year. And And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like. Please subscribe. If you want more of these, let me know in the comments. We'll do more con wrap-ups.